Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marshall Occurrence reign back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-Freemason all day, anti-psychic all day, anti-witchcraft all day, anti-gang stalker all day. So this message is going to be about God's perspective on uh, deaths of children. The deaths of children. God has killed children. The death of children. God has killed children. See, the time has come in this show on the world stage for us to have a sense of sobriety with all these child worshipers, people who go to one extreme or the other. You either are crazy about protecting children, and then you got 43 states of child marriage in your own country, and you didn't know that, or you are having sex with them literally. Each extreme is child worship to me. That's a 7 hour. Anytime you put children before right and wrong, you're in worship of children. In fact, anything you put before right and wrong is idolatry. So it doesn't matter what your motives are. I don't care what your motives are. I don't care what your purpose is. If you're putting children before right and wrong, you are in idolatry of children. Children, in other words, are your idols. Okay, and now imagine how many people fit that description of children being idols to them. Because when you put them before what is right, it's above. You see what I'm saying? And if you do wrong things for them, you're putting children above. Okay? And that's idolatry, which is child worship. Anything you put above God and God's standards of living is worship of that. Okay? I'm not making it up. I broke it down just now. These people, I'm going to do a video about that. They worship children. They got 43 states of child marriage. That's worship of children. You passed your last child marriage law 3 years ago. That's worship of children. You got the world record for the lowest age of consent worldwide, the world record. That's child worship. So you have all these records and laws of putting children way up here that even nobody else has done. In fact, Russia does not have child marriage. In fact, China does not have child marriage. So it's safe to say you got this silly, goofy way of thinking towards children. Well, yeah. It's safe to say you're a little goofy when it comes to children. I think that's safe to say. You agree? The audience agree? The Americans are a little goofy when it comes to children, don't you think? Well, they got child marriage around here. Little league marriage, guys. Here's little league marriage. Come on. Little league marriage. Okay, you think you're serious about children, but when we check the stats, you're actually goofy towards children. Am I right or wrong? Okay. Let's keep that in all perspective. We're going forward. Let's keep this in perspective that the Americans are quite goofy when it comes to children, actually. And for my audience, my new audience, let me tell you what the difference between they got the world record in the present day record, the present lowest age of consent. America has the world record, meaning no one has had in modern day record keeping history. No one has the lower age of consent in America. Nobody. No one does. No one. Now, the present lowest age of consent is some other country that you can look up, which I think is Yemen, if I'm saying it right, which is 9 years old. Okay. Still, they have the world record for the lowest age of consent worldwide. No, don't listen to what nobody say if they can't prove it. If they can't prove it, they talking gibberish and they're playing a Jedi mind trick of imaginaries of other people doing things we don't know and don't have no record of. You have to pull up and prove it. We getting tired of that people talking about stuff they can't prove. Okay? As far as proving and evidence, America has the world record for the lowest age of consent worldwide. As far as proving it now. On record, as far as a government passing a law. That age was 7 years old. The same American government passed a law for you to have sex, for Americans to have sex with 7-year-old girls. 7 years old now. 7 years old. You don't think that's goofy? That's the difference, bro. That's the difference. Whole bunch of goofy Ronald McDonald people around here. Look at the food they even have. It's goofy. Ronald McDonald, Wendy's. It's all goofy. It's a difference between being funny and nice and fun-loving, and then there's people out here that play with children in child marriage that are goofy. I'll take being considered serious on any day of the week over being a goofy person. Hey, that's okay. They're goofy. You can't do nothing with goofiness. Okay, so I need to say all that so you understand moving forward that you can't listen halfway to these people. Okay, this is the goofy society that has the world record for the lowest age of consent. Keep that in perspective when they even talk about children, period. Period. They're going to talk influenced by the goofiness. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. They're influenced by the goofiness concerning children. That's why you can't listen to them. That's what I'm trying. You got to shut it down. You got to shut them down. Because they start spewing that goofiness. They get all goofy and giddy when it comes to these children. You don't know if they're attracted to them or they're crazy and don't understand that they got child marriage and trying to protect them. Like a man diving over a front yard, trying to catch a football. That's how they look with they are with the children. Goofy, bro. So we're going to show you God's perspective. That's how we're going to cut through this goofiness. God will kill children. Okay? Well, yeah. I'm going to show you. The Passover was all about, let's go to the Passover first. The Passover was when God commanded, it represents, it's for the event of when God commanded his people to put the blood of a lamb on the doorpost so that the angels that would take lives would not take their firstborn child. If they did not have the blood over their door, their firstborn child was taken. People's children, when this event happened, people's children were taken. Okay? People's children was taken. Okay? They lost their children. God sent his kingdom to kill their children. This is God's perspective, and he isn't wrong. You just are not sober when you understand humanity versus God. You don't have a sober perspective. You got children way up here and God somewhere. God doesn't play any game with any form of humanity. That's what you got. You accept it or you don't accept it. Okay? And God is not wrong. It's understanding God's position versus mere creations. You see what I'm saying? Okay, God took Pharaoh's, the second example, God took Pharaoh's firstborn. Pharaoh in the times of Moses. Moses came to Pharaoh and said, let my people go. He told him. That's what God said, right? God took Pharaoh's firstborn child. God doesn't play any games, man. This is God now, who you say is love and all of that, right? And he is. But you need to understand the full perspective of God, okay? Because you get in America, most of y'all are passive, docile, and feminine. Okay, so it's easy for you to paint this picture of all these good things and sweet, soft things. You paint this picture of God of all these sweet, soft things because that's you. That's the God you want to serve, right? But you don't want to serve the living God while I show you he killed children. Yeah, God, buddy. Because the first thing people want to do, God is love. No, I think you a sucker. Let's keep it 100. You a sucker. And you trying to get God on your side. That's what it is. You a sucker and you want God to fit your little narrative. That's what it is. I didn't make it up. You know, it doesn't fit my narrative. I'm showing you the full spectrum of God. Something that most of your preachers are not going to show you is that God has killed kids, children. Yes. Pharaoh's firstborn was killed. Pharaoh, okay? Who Moses had to face, who the Hebrews was enslaved to. When he didn't want to let God's people go, he lost his first son. He lost his firstborn son. Okay? That's God, buddy. God doesn't play any games, bro. That's what I'm trying to show you. You have these pictures of God. You have all these pictures of God that's not biblical. This is the biblical God. That's why I believe it. Because see, if man had written it from his perspective, God wouldn't have been killing kids. Oh no, you can't put that in there. Why would I make that up? Why would I make that up? Oh my God. Now you see what I'm saying? If it was written by man, see, this is how you know it's not. Because man would put God as this perfect being in his perspective, which would mean he wouldn't be killing kids. Now, would he? If man had wrote that now, think about it, that wouldn't have happened. Because man would have painted this human perfect picture according to his thought process. God is perfect. But from man's perspective of God's perfection, that's what he would have wrote. Oh no, God doesn't kill children. No. Well, this is how I believe. That's why I believe in the Bible. It shows us that God did kill kids. Next example, the prophet Elisha, not Elijah with a J-S-H-A, Elisha. Elisha cursed 42 children, and 2 she-bears came out the woods and devoured the children. And she-bears, by the way, is the female bear that is naturally a protector of their cubs, which means it was more of a ferocious bear because it's naturally going to protect the cubs and lash out at anybody that's in the vicinity of the cubs. So it's more of a ferocious bear. It was the most ferocious bear, you would say. I absolutely believe that. How the story goes, the prophet Elijah was walking, minding his business, and these children were taunting him. Bald head, calling him bald head, bald head, bald head. He turned around, cursed the children. In the name of the Lord, 2 she-bears came out the woods, devoured 42 children. Can you imagine how much blood and gore it was for 2 bears to destroy 42 children? Think about 10 bodies. Think about 42 bodies. That was a bloody mess. And God allowed it to happen. Now, in that case, hear this part. God didn't, it was the authority that the prophet Elijah had that God gave him that those kids were killed by. Because God didn't say, you're going to go up to Bethel and I'm going to kill 42 children for you by 2 she-bears. He cursed the children. The power of God came, and the kids were devoured. This is the kingdom of God. Now, keep that thought right there. Keep that thought. Now, imagine if that had happened here in America. If you had heard that I had cursed 42 children walking down the street, some school kids, you heard that I did it. Me. I'm talking about me. And that somehow some wildcat mountain lions, some cougars just happen to be around here in New York, already in the wild on the prowl, and devoured these children. What would your community think of me? I'm showing you God's standard versus man's standard. What would your community think of me? Oh, he's an animal. He shouldn't have. Why would he curse children just because they was picking at him? He's a man of God. He should have ignored that. Where was his fruit of the Spirit? Where was his patience? Where was his long suffering? Where was his love? He should have prayed for those children. He should have went home and went on a fast for those children. He didn't do that, did he? He didn't do that, did he? And can no preacher give me no mumbo jumbo about trying to make this fit some soft cupcake narrative to explain it in some passive way as if it didn't happen as it did. It happened. It's self-explanatory. It ain't no way, it ain't symbolic or none of that. It's self-explanatory. That's what this is. That's the term you use here. It's self-explanatory. They played with the man of God, the prophet of God. He cursed them in the name of the Lord. 42 children were killed. Boom, out. And that's it. Now, see, in this society, let that have been done here, right? Now, let that have been done here. People will hate you forever, even Christians. That's just not a man of God. I don't care what y'all say. Well, what was the prophet Elijah then? If he would have been calling him, if I would have been, look, if you knew me as a prophet did that, you would call me a false prophet, wouldn't you? You would say, that's a devilish false prophet. He cursed children and they were killed by cougars. Hey, you would call me a false prophet, wouldn't you? And nevertheless, have a scene like that happen for me. Have that happen? Have that happen? You haven't seen a scene like that happen for me. Okay. And that's the word of God. I didn't make this up. I don't have a tricky Bible. It's right in your Bible too. Okay? And this is the true perspective, the sober perspective on humanity that most of you do not live by. Because like I said, if I had did that, well, you would call me everything but a child of God. He ain't no man. He ain't no man. He like a woman with a hissy fit. He couldn't even handle those children. He couldn't even handle those children. What kind of man, real man, would do that? Well, a man of God. Obviously. A man of God, obviously. The man of God got that done. Okay? And whether you like it or not, that's how it went down. And here's the punchline. He had the fruit of the Spirit. He was a man of God. He was validated by God, obviously. Because see, this is what you need to understand. If he had not been valid, then why did it happen? If he was not a man of God, then how would he have access to the power of God like that? See, this is what you need to understand about me too. See, if I wasn't a man of God, how come I got access to you like that? To defeat you like that, buddy? Ow. Yeah, you also have a warped perspective on what a man of God acts like and looks like. And I got to keep campaigning about the prophet Elijah because he's the perfect example. He's the perfect example. You wouldn't think that was a man of God, right or wrong. And he does not fit your preacher what he looks like, how he feels, or how she feels. You don't play, listen, you don't play with the man of God, and if you are a child too, you can be devoured, buddy. I'll tell you that. It's a law of the land. It's a law of the jungle. Let's look at it like that too. It's a law of the jungle, buddy. And see what you do. Let me show you what these Americans do. You go prop your children up like I dare you to look at my child. I do more than look at them. Keep playing with me. I do more than look at them. I dare you to look at my child. I dare you to even look over here. Like, who are you? I can't even look at you and your family. Who you think you are? I mean, you'll be surprised. Ain't nobody scared of you. I dare you to come over and say something like as if I did something to you and your child. I dare you to act like that. These people crazy. Like you can't even look at them. Then why are you out here then? You don't want nobody to see you. Why are you out here then? Taking a little stroll and everything. You know? They act like nobody else ain't got children. We all got children. You want a cookie for having a child? You want me to bake you a dozen of cookies because you made a child in the world? Is that what it is? You're looking for a dozen of cookies. Tell the truth. You're hungry. You're looking for a dozen of cookies. That's why you're riding your children down there and hoping somebody give you and the children a dozen of cookies. You're pimping out your children for a dozen of cookies. Yeah, man. Like I'm tired of this, man. Goofiness, man. And I showed you how God is. Now, what you gonna say about that? What do you have to say for yourself with your goofiness and your goofy perspective? Well, then you can listen. You can live and die like that. Who cares? That's my perspective. But don't sit up here and try to act like you're better. You're so holy and so good. Look how I love the children. Look how I interact with the children. Listen, bro. God has killed children. Stop the act, okay? Stop this self-pious, self-righteous act like you have something better than us when God has killed children. Like you're more of a family man than us. You're more of a child protector than the rest of us. I'm talking to a Pacific people that's goofy. That's why you see the balance in me. I talk about the child marriage, but I'm not some goofy person. You feel me? I'm talking about it because these people are hypocrites who will sit up and talk about they child protectors, but yet they got child marriage in 43 states. That's the whole thing, is about the hypocrisy. That's the main foundation. Look at the hypocrisy in America. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that part right there. Yeah, bro. Look at that hypocrisy. Listen, man. Come on, man. You think I'm going to let somebody get away with that level of hypocrisy? 43 states of child marriage. But you sitting around here as a community like you do something for children. Oh, you know what you do for them? You put them in child marriage. That's what you do for them. That's what you do for them, buddy. And I don't care about you individually. How you interact with your children, listen, that ain't got nothing to do with the whole community, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with us. That ain't got nothing to do with the country. How is that going to speak volumes to me? A man like me that's diseducated. So it means nothing to me. It's for you. It's for you and your family to be like that. That's real. That's all we saying, bro. Stop the acting. Stop all this acting like y'all got something we don't, or y'all got some kind of noble way of thinking that we don't all have. We all want to be child protectors and think right towards children. But you're goofy with it, though, to where you're using children for gang stalking. Like, we don't know you're using children for psychological purposes. Like, we don't know you're weaponizing children. That's exactly what they're doing. They're weaponizing children as if, like they children can't die. Yeah, because in war, any weapon can be broken, including children. Yes. Ask a military man what he has to do if a child is given an AK-47 because the opposing army wants to utilize children as a weapon. Knowing that you won't want to first kill a kid, your first thought is not to kill a kid. They play on that. It's people that play on your good heart towards children. That's real. They don't have a heart. They'll play on your heart. They'll use your heart in the place where they have no heart and put their children before you as a weapon. It's no different. If you out here using children as gang stalking tools, you're no different than the person that puts an AK-47 in a child's hand and weaponize a child against an opposing army. And you should be ashamed of yourself to even use children in any form or fashion. I don't care what you're talking about. Testing and all of that. Listen, that's chicken, that's three-piece chicken biscuit eating hood politic tactics. That's what it is. It's people that sit back eating chicken play games like that. You know the picture I'm painting, culturally speaking. Sitting around eat a three-piece thinking they're going to play games with you. And listen, you digging a hole for yourself. Because God doesn't have any problem with taking your children away from you. Keep that in mind. I have no problem with showing you the scripture on it. I have no problem with showing you the scriptural basis why I believe that and why I know that's true. I can sit down and show you. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are around here goofy, like your children, like you propping up your children as weapons, like they can't be broken as weapons in war. This is one of my quotes. Any weapon in war can be broken. I don't care what it is. If you're using it as a weapon, it can be broken. And technically speaking, as a people of war, you shouldn't. The technicalities of the situation is, hey, you shouldn't have no problem with that. Because you know you enter kids into war and use them as war tools. So based on that legality, that's what I want to say. Based on that legality of you using children, okay. And you know any weapon that you use, the legality of using any weapon, right? You know that it can be broken based on those legalities and technicalities. Yeah. I don't care. Listen, they are human beings to me. That's all. That's all they are. To you, you worship them. Okay? They're only human beings to me. And the mystery is we all were children at one time. And look at the mess you've become. That's what sobers me up. Look at the mess these big head people become. They were children too. So what does that tell you? That's why some people have no problem with wiping out whole families because they know the children ain't going to become nothing but you. Well, most likely, if your parents are roaches, the children are going to be roaches. If you got parents that's snakes, the children are going to be snakes. If you got children that are if you got parents that's rats, the children are going to be rats. It's common sense, right? Rats produce what? Rats. Mice. That's what rats produce, mice. They don't produce golden retrievers. Rats don't produce golden retrievers. That's why the children act just like their parents. And so when somebody sees some people that are very intelligent will see the craziness and the ratchetness of your family, of the parents, they don't care nothing about the children. Because they've already concluded that the children ain't going to be too much different from the parents. Most likely. On the average situation, you got boosters, the children going to start stealing. They go to the store stealing. They acting in the stealing acts with you. Oh, how many boosters use the children to steal? Come on. Oh, I'm lying? They use the children to steal. Children go up, become straight up boosters. How many people that come from a family of drug dealers and the children become drug dealers too? Oh, yeah. It happens all the time. People that sell weight, they children wind up selling weight too. Families that really sell real drugs, like like it's a business, their children wind up getting in the family business, if you will. Right or wrong? Promiscuous women wind up producing promiscuous girls because they dancing all around, shaking it, and had the kids dancing all around. Now the kids knocked up at what, 19? Got kids at 19 years old because they had a promiscuous, whorish mother. That's what it was. So some people don't have no problem with cutting to the chase and realize it's good to wipe out the family of people that are like that. Roaches produce roaches, rats produce rats. And that's the sobriety of the situation. While you may be the way you are, this is how humanity thinks. This is how God thinks. So you have to isolate your perspective to yourself and realize God will even kill children. Now you're getting sober. Now you're becoming sober about the situation. Now you see how goofy people was. Yeah, there you go. Now you see how goofy people was. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, God can wipe out whole families, whole children with no problem. And you can't be looking up. Look, man, listen. You can't be looking up to God talking about love and all of this and that. God gonna look at you like, well, you put your children in harm's way. As a community, you gang stalk with children. You play psychological games using famous people children, images of famous people children. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You use famous people's children and images and psychological technology that the Americans have. That's what they did. That's why if you get any crazy thoughts come across your mind, that's the mind technology that the American government and the American community has to flash children, celebrities' children in your head. That's what technology they got now. That's where that's coming from. Ain't nobody stupid. Nah, ain't nobody stupid. Ain't nobody stupid. It's either that or the Satanic Kingdom. And I say it's both. It's a combination of both. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Because you know how you think. So if something comes across your mind that's not you, that's the enemy. Meanwhile, I hold a very sober mentality towards children altogether. It doesn't mean anything to me. What does that mean? I date a grown woman. I enjoy adult company. You can't reduce me down to a man-child. You can't reduce me down to thinking about children sexually. You can't reduce me down there. I'm too much of a man. I'm too much of a man, contrary to what you've been told. Okay? Because the only reason I'm not working because I can't work right now. I don't have an ID. I have to get birth certificates and points and everything to get an official ID. Not some flimsy thing. They will not accept that. They would not accept that in some cases, most cases. Okay, so that's the reason why I am not working right now. So therefore, I'm in good standing with God. Boom, Al. I don't care what you think. I'm in good standing with God. Well, why wouldn't I be if I can't do something? That's what I'm saying. But you sitting there criticizing something, there you go again. And you don't know what's going on. That's what I'm trying to show you. So I'm doing, meanwhile, what I know, what I should be doing is checking and chastising the enemy. Meanwhile, yeah, sitting up acting halfway crazy about these children. And ain't, listen, that is not the way a human's supposed to think. That's what I'm trying to show you. They put children as idols in their community. You can tell by their actions. They're killing them or sexing them down. Which one? These days, the parents are killing them here in America. They're killing their own kids. Killing their own kids. You got me? And then you talk about protecting children. Well, okay, I can show you NYPD having sex with a 15-year-old girl. Right here in New York. NYPD having sex with a 15-year-old girl. We ain't trying to hear that. Ain't nothing you talking about is real. What's real is 43 states of child marriage. That's real, buddy. That's real. That's why I'm telling you, you can have all these people, man, and you will find that none of them are really my masters. Okay, they may have had a brief time in my life, but they are not my masters because they have not mastered what I have mastered. How are they my masters? Okay, sometimes people give too much credit. Your enemies, they go looking for your masters. That's what they do. And what you'll find is really, I don't really have any. In other words, I don't have any OGs. Where's my OGs at? Who can take responsibility for who I am? Okay? Oh, that's what I'm saying. Your enemies will look for your OGs. And you can go look for mine, and you ain't gonna find one. Ow. See, that's a prophet. You ain't gonna find no OGs. Most likely with a prophet, you ain't gonna find no OGs. Someone that you can look to and say, well, he's the reason why that person is like that. But look at who they really are, as opposed to who I am. Make it make sense. That's what I'm saying. So it's easy for people to just cop out and say that's that person's OGs. I don't have any. Okay? Don't flatter people talking about them my OGs. You flattering people now. And that's why they'll build psychologically off of that and play war games off of that, thinking you're violating somebody that's supposed to be your OGs and they're not even my OGs. That's why I can see through everything they do, and it doesn't work with me. It doesn't work. You know what works with me? Submitting to the master of everybody. Jesus Christ, the Messiah. That's what works for me. Okay? That's my master. That's my master. See, so just admit that you're in trouble, man. You're goofy people. You got child marriage. You don't know if the Americans love children and they want to have sex with them. Which one? That's goofy, right? Can we all agree? We don't know if you want to kill them one moment. We don't know if you want to have sex with them another moment. I mean, you're goofy, bro. Let's keep it 100. You're not sound-minded and serious about these things. And if you was really, if you was really serious about child protecting, then why are you tripping with 43 states of child marriage then? So you're not even serious about that. At the end of the day, you're not serious about protecting children. So that's goofy, right? That's what I'm trying to show you. And they quick to call somebody a cornball, and they first in line being the goofiest person around here. Keep in mind, child marriage is not in China. Child marriage is not in Russia. Keep that in mind. Why they think they number one. Ow. You number one with child marriage. Okay. Yeah, you number one for goofiness with children. That's what you are. Hey, man, listen. Who you mad at? Me and yourself, bro. Ain't my fault. You sit up here and made a list of child marriage laws. And then you want to act like you ain't naughty. Santa Claus ain't bringing you nothing. And Christmas is off. Santa Claus ain't bringing you nothing. You got 43 states of child marriage. Keep all your stuff up in the attic. He ain't bringing you nothing. We found out you got child marriage since 1957. You got child marriage since 1957, man. Come on. You can't be serious. And when I say America has child marriage since 1957, this is the goofiness. This is what I'm telling you. The goofiness is nobody knows, too. That's the goofiness, too. Ow. That means through the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, all the best decades of America, they had some form of child marriage in some states somewhere here in America. It wasn't totally clean. There was child marriage throughout all those decades. Now, it may have fluctuated from state to state which ones had it and didn't have it, but the bottom line is it wasn't squeaky clean. They had child marriage all over the country. Through the 60s, the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s. This is new information I found out. This is what destroys the whole credibility. Come on, man. Listen, come on. Listen, come on. We don't care what you feel. We're going by the facts and the real stuff. You've had child marriage since 1957. So that's the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Now you can't tell these cops that, can you? Let's talk to these cops. Yeah, I can't wait to talk to them again. Hey, I talk to them. I tell them about that. Last cop I talked to talking about, oh, well, we hope it change. But you ain't saying, you don't got that attitude with the guy that's considered a pedophile on the streets. You ain't saying you hope he change. You got psychological games playing with him. But you hope the government change. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the passive punks they become. If I would have told a tough cop in the 80s that, he would have hit the roof, spilled his coffee all in his lap. Child marriage in America? No. Let me pull that up right now. Sitting behind one of those 80 computers with the green wordings. Let me type this in here right now. Child marriage in America. Finds out it's child marriage in America, buddy. His whole attitude, he would probably quit. I'm quitting. I'm resigning. I refuse to work for a country. See, these days, these cops ain't going to do that. They going to say, I hope it get better. See, the truth is, man, everybody don't walk. This is what I heard a cop say himself out his own mouth. I sit there and talk to him. Yeah, you're intimidated by cops. I'm not. Ow. They don't mean they put their pants on just like I do last time I checked. I talked to him and he was like, oh, well, I hope it gets better. Hope it gets better. That's your attitude. That's what I'm trying to show you. And that's who you respect and that's who you honor. Someone that just says merely, who serves the law, it's law enforcement. Merely, he just hopes it gets better. You know why he's saying that? Because really, deep down inside, he's ashamed of it all, but he still stands with America. Oh, that's what that means. I hope it gets better, which means I'm still with America. Basically. Because if you wasn't, that wouldn't be your response, buddy. You'd put the blame where it belongs and stop serving the law enforcement. Meanwhile, keep in mind, this same institution called the NYPD had a girl in their precinct. She was in their precinct in a program. And 2 cops preyed on her. Her mother thought it'd be a good idea to give the cops the girl's phone number. So the mother knew the girl was in the program. I wouldn't put my kid in no cop program. I don't know what kind of parents that was. But anyway, the program was called the Explorers. Ironically, right? Crazy, right? Because they explored her. They had sex with her. One of them did. And she was 15 years old, man. See, you don't want to look at that. A fully grown cop penetrating a 15-year-old girl. See, that don't get you mad. When you're trying to be honorable and these fools out here just do it and no one cares about it. But you trying to keep your every thought straight and everything, and look at them. He penetrated a 15-year-old girl. That's not a woman's vagina. Big old cop. I'm pretty sure he was kind of big, physically speaking. And you ain't got nothing to say about that as a New York community. That's what I'm saying. It's shame on you, on your older senior citizens and all of you who sit back and watch Law and Order. Shame on you. Shame on you. You sit up here and you pick on people who you think are misfits or losers in your community concerning sexual deviance. But then we show you the new NYPD having sex with a 15-year-old girl, penetrating a 15-year-old girl, and they didn't even get locked up. They just got fired. Last time I checked, unemployment doesn't stop a sex predator. Unemployment does not stop a sex predator for preying on people, on children. This is the goofiness I'm talking about. This is the goofiness. This is the goofiness. and they still not talking about it. See, but they'll hold something that you did against you for like, even if they don't know what it is or how it happened, it could be 40 years ago. This is the yapping 3-piece biggest biscuit eating community they are. McDouble eating community. Ronald McDonald people, Happy Meal eating people, probably eat Happy Meals. But they'll sit up and criticize you, and they got the NYPD right here. I mean, where else do we go? I mean, this is supposed to be the people of integrity, the police. We got them, and it happened less than 10 years ago. But they'll talk about something you did 30 years ago and don't even have it right. That's what I'm trying to show you. You see that? That's goofy. That's goofy when it's right there in their face and they don't say nothing. That's goofy. Meanwhile, they got child marriage at the same time. You telling me that's not goofy? So I'm supposed to take them seriously. Man, that's goofy as it comes, bro. That's goofy as it comes. You can't be serious. Talk to a black man about that. That's the exact same words he's going to come up with pretty much. Goofiness. People you esteem as grown men sitting up here passing child marriage laws. Passing child marriage laws. What masculine, fully grown man say, hey, baby, I got to pass a child marriage law today. I got to go downtown and pass a child marriage law. Yeah, I'll be back around 3. It's going to be an all-day session. What grown man can possess himself to do that? So that's not a goofy male. That's a goofy Pee Wee Herman type of individual. What mother, caretaking woman, loving children, loving towards children, love to be with children, what kind of woman, a real woman like that, would make child marriage laws? You know any motherly women that would do that? So how can you esteem these women politicians that some women have something to do with it? How can you esteem them as mothers of your community, passing child marriage laws? They're supposed to be caretakers of the community. Can't call them caretakers when they pass child marriage laws, can you? None of them. Can you call them caretakers? That's goofiness, bro. That's what I'm trying to show you. And that's why your community is in the state that it's in now. All this talking about now, you see the full summary. You see full circle. You see the punchline. The punchline is this is why you have all of this goofiness. They don't know if they want to do this with children. They don't know if they want to do that with children. It's hey, party over here. Hey, child molesting over there. Hey, child marriage over here. Hey, we locked this guy up for child molesting over there. That's what I'm talking about. It's a big weird child worship party, ain't it? Some big cesspool of child lust. Well, hey, I'm going by the facts. Somebody's thinking about it. And it ain't me, buddy. Look at your community. We can actually say they're thinking about it. Well, you got to have a thought about child marriage before it comes. That doesn't just manifest. They had to have a thought about it, didn't they? And you sitting there worried about what people thinking about. Weren't you worried about what's on the minds of these child marriage law passing politicians? Won't you worry about what's on their mind? There you go, being goofy again. You question what's on everybody else's mind, but you do not question what's on the mind of these child marriage law passing politicians. You ain't questioning what their mind is at, are you? You're not questioning what the mind of these people's that passed these child marriage laws 3 years ago. You ain't thinking about how they think, are you? The last child marriage law was passed 3 years ago. You ain't worried about these people's thoughts, are you? That's the goofiness in you. That's the goofiness in you. Last child marriage law was passed under the Donald Trump administration. And it's the goofiness of you to not know it happened. Okay? You got that? Good. You goofy as it comes. Sitting around here like you doing something for children. You can't be serious. Who you talking to, them or me? Because I know what's really going on. And to me, you're totally goofy. You got the age of consent under 18 in 40 states. That's not goofy. You got these New Yorkers running around acting like they protect children, but they got the age of consent at 17. That's not goofy. That's goofy. Well, if you really protected children, you would see that the age of consent being at 17, which Florida doesn't have and California doesn't have, you would see that's the age of, that age is child vagina. That's what it is. But yet you talking about protecting children, you snooping around like you looking for pedophiles. You're goofy, okay? I'm calling it what it is. What it is? Oh, that's serious business? That's serious business. They got the age of consent of 17. That's serious business, ain't it? Oh, that's serious business. You gotta say it like that. That's serious business. That's serious business. They got the age of consent of 17. That's serious business. That's serious business for 43 states of child marriage. That's serious business. Okay. Okay. See, I want you to know I don't take you seriously. That's what I want you to know. I don't care what you're doing, your best efforts. I don't care what you're trying to do. I don't take you seriously. I don't take anybody seriously. Got child marriage up here talking about sexual integrity at all, buddy. I don't take none of that. I don't take one person seriously. They're talking about protecting children. And you're ignorant. You're either passing the laws or you're ignorant of your laws that you have in your country. Okay? I'm a notch up from you as far as being serious about this. You understand the difference? You're somewhat. I am serious. That's the difference. Okay? So don't come to me talking about that child marriage, child sex stuff, and here you are with child marriage. You feel me? Don't come to me with that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Come to them. Come to the ignorant. Ignorance is bliss. Go talk to the ignorant people. They're blissful. Okay? Don't come over here with that. That's what I'm trying to show you. Don't come over here with that. I can show you what God killed children. Bust your whole feelings towards children. Because you quick to say, God is love. And, you know, they want to play that Jesus is Love song by the Commodores. Jesus is love. He won't let you down. Ow. Okay? But while you got that song in your head, keep in mind that God has killed children too. That's what we talking about. So get all the goofiness. I'll get all that goofiness away from me. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see nothing going on here with children, and this is for my audience too, if they try to play with you, these gang stalkers and these suckers try to play with you, listen, you tell them like this, man, keep that goofiness away from me. Because I can show you what God killed children. Which means if you weaponize children and play these psychological games, you continue to play these games as a prophet, I prophesy that they will be defeated as a weapon. This is what it's come to, bro. We ain't playing no games. We're not playing any games. We're not goofy over here. People with fully grown companions and they still playing games. See you with a fully grown woman, still playing games. That's not goofy. That's what I'm trying to show you. You having sex with a fully grown woman. You're married to a fully grown woman and they still playing games. That don't deserve to live, man. That's what I'm saying. That's goofiness, bro. That's real. You up here sharing your life with a fully grown companion and that's what you like and that's what you do. And they still playing games. That's goofiness that can't be tolerated, bro. That's what I don't care. I don't care. Somebody look at me funny, I'm looking at you funny. What's wrong with you? I got a 16-year-old kid myself, and I'm not goofy about it. It doesn't mean the same thing it means to me that it means to you. You get goofy about it. I got a 16-year-old kid. So there you go. We all got kids. We all have kids, including me and including my woman. We all have kids. Okay, so you're talking to someone who has a kid and his woman has a kid. Okay, it's all that foolishness, all the foolishness that you throw our way, all of it. Listen, bro, listen, you're the only one goofy. It's goofiness. It's goofiness. It's goofiness, bro. It's goofiness. It's goofiness. That's what we talking about. It's goofiness, bro. That's what it is. And goofy people wind up dead. That's what happened. Because listen, ain't nobody playing no games, bro. I don't care what you feel. I don't care. That's you, and we know it's you. It's your goofy feelings that you're projecting on us. That's what it is. At the end of the day, I got a kid. My girl got a kid. So what else you want to know? We're all grown here, bro. Ain't no man child here. Okay? Ain't no man child here. Ain't no man child here, bro. And you are one. If you're goofy, you halfway a man child to me. I don't know any grown men that's goofy. They can be funny, hilarious, a goofball, which falls into being hilarious. Now you're goofy. The negative part of trying to have a sense of humor. And it's falling off, bro. We don't deal with no goofiness over here. None of that foolishness. None of it. It's all goofiness. And that's all we saying, bro. Keep the goofiness out my lane, bro. Because listen. People finna start dying. That's what's finna happen. Listen, man, this is the kingdom of God, bro. This ain't no show. This ain't no TV show. Yeah, this ain't no TV show. I'm sorry you was under the wrong impression that I was entertaining you. I'm not entertaining anyone. We're not entertaining anyone. My head is on tight. You throw images of children across our minds and perversion across our mind. None of that matters. That's all you. That's all you being goofy. That's all you being goofy, bro. Ain't nobody stupid. That's all you being goofy. Okay, we got grown children over here. My girl's son is 18. My son is 16. He's 2 years away from being 18. Now, what would I look like letting you act like I'm new to the world, like I don't know what a kid is? You feel me? You feel me? That's what they paint me like I'm some man child, like I ain't got no kid. I got a kid just like you, man. That don't mean nothing. If my son loves me, my son said he gonna come find me. Okay? Okay, so listen, man, stop playing games with yourself, man. Stop being goofy before you get the community out here killed playing games, man. That's real. That's real, because it don't matter to me. I'm just saying, don't talk that kid stuff to me, and I got a 16-year-old kid myself, and you treat me like I'm 16 years old. Yeah, that part right there. What would I look like with a 16-year-old kid? 16, right? When he can drive and I'm taking disrespect for people like I'm a sucker. You feel me? It's not happening, bro. Like I said, I got a 16-year-old kid myself. I see my son born in the hospital. No trifling, working and everything when my son was born. My son came home in my apartment. Came home from the hospital to my apartment where my name was on the lease. Okay? You're not dealing with no man child here. That's what I'm showing you. This ain't my first apartment. And that wasn't my first apartment with my son we came home from the hospital to. And I'm driving. I drive too. I can drive. You can't treat me like I'm some man child. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, if you watch these Americans, they treat black people like we're children. Black people treat other black people like children too. They do it too. They do the same thing. Okay? So listen, man, a lot of people gonna die playing with this side over here, bro. That's all, and I don't care about it. I don't care about it because at the end of the day, it's goofiness going on, and that's what it is. That pinpoints what it is. It's goofiness. Okay, you see the man with a woman, boom, that clears everything up. He got a child, boom, show you what he does. Okay, my son is 16. How old are your children? So I've been having children longer than before you did. I had a child before you did. How old your kid is? Okay, so I'm getting it in before you. I'm just saying. And you walk around here like I'm a man child. I don't know. Listen, I'm a papa. I'm a papa. I talk like one. I act like one. Okay, and you thought it was an act. Now you see the full man. Somebody got a 16-year-old kid. His girl got a kid. You feel me? Who's an adult. And, it's no games being played over here. Now, if you a man child, that's you. You goofy, that's you. You sitting up eavesdropping 3-piece chicken eating, biscuit eating people, politicking, that's you goofy. I don't play around other people's lives like that. And you should expect the worst thing to happen to you when you do it. You should expect the worst thing to happen. You can't see me. I'm a papa, buddy. You cannot see me. Okay? Now you know. We all got children. You ain't saying nothing to me by saying something about a child. I got one too. And so I don't act like you do. You act like the world owes you some type of something. Like you like we supposed to acknowledge it because you got a kid, or somebody's supposed to be scared of you, like scared to look at your kid or something like that. I don't care nothing about that. I'm the same man to see my son born in the hospital. Half of these trifling dudes out here, you wasn't even in the hospital when your son was born. You wasn't even in the hospital when your daughter was born. Okay, I was. You feel me? That's them being goofy. That's what I'm saying. And don't worry about the rest of the story. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know, buddy. And we can go a little further. I put myself on child support. Okay, so what lame niggas do that? I put myself on child support. Okay, so then that's all I gotta say why these superstars ain't even giving money to their children. While I put myself on child support. Oh, you know the ones that didn't take care, don't do nothing for their children? But they superstars. Okay, I put myself on child support. So who you respect? The person that puts himself on child support or the person that's in the limelight who don't even take care of their children, bro? That's what I'm trying to show you, man. That's what I'm saying. It's all goofiness, bro. It's all image and goofiness. That's all I'm saying. And people need to have a sober mindset and sober perspective on children and humanity and stop playing games, bro. Because ain't nobody out here playing games. Now, I showed you who I am. I told you who I am. Now, if you choose to live in a clown world, like you at the circus or something, like you at a carnival person, I can be funny just like the next man. But I don't live at a carnival, bro. I don't play at the circus. I don't tap dance at the circus. Okay? I don't tap dance at the circus. I don't have any acts at the circus. You know what I mean? People are straight up clowns and goofy, bro. It ain't gangster, it's goofy. Ain't none of that real to me. It's goofiness. That's what it is. That's what we're talking about, sucker. Walking around here goofy, man. And I got a 16-year-old kid. And I'm supposed to be who? What? You in high school, man. That's how I see it. Your brain stopped growing in high school or something. You thought it was me. It's you. Yeah, that's why I walk around here like a papa. I got a 16-year-old kid. Thought it was all an act. Now the whole persona adds up. Yeah, that part right there. And you thought I was walking around here being loud. I'm a papa, bro. Play no games. Papa don't take no mess. Papa don't take no mess. And I ain't taking no mess off no hood politic people. Because at the end of the day, if you in hood politics, okay, it's one thing to be in hood politics for your survival. It's another thing to be a 3-piece biscuit-eating hood politician. You're goofy to me. I don't get in other people's business. When it comes to even the streets, why do drug dealers need to know each other unless it's about competition and taking care of self and awareness? All this yapping and yapping, man, listen, that's goofy. You know what I'm saying? It's goofy, bro. I never liked politics. Because I feel like, why I need to know you and I'm getting money? If we're not getting money together, why should you know what I do? You feel me? If I'm hustling, if I'm hustling dope, right? And I'm selling weight, why do these people down the street need to know that I'm hustling, selling weight? Where they can kick in my dope and have a home invasion. Why do they need to know that? The less people know you, the better the situation. You ain't got to be sitting paranoid thinking somebody gonna kick in your dope. That's what I'm saying. And everybody these days, they want everybody to know. I don't need to know nobody. Why? That's one extra person I have to worry about. You know what I mean? In every situation, I don't want to know nobody. I don't. That's why God chooses people like me, because I'm not after fame. I don't want to know nobody. I want to do what I got to do, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? All people know you and all of that. Nah, I don't want that. That's why I'm cursing all of that. Anybody that's putting that on me, I'm cursing you. Look, I didn't sign up for that. You took it on yourself to play around my likeness and my name and who I am. Listen, you deserve that because you're goofy. That's what it is. You don't see me. Listen, I talk about big issues I should be concerned about. I talk about stuff around me that I should be concerned about. The hypocrisy I should be concerned about. Things that concern my Christian walk. Like not voting because they got gay marriage in all 50 states. Why should I be voting? Why should I as a Christian support that and Jesus wouldn't vote? Jesus would not vote if it would indirectly or directly support gay agenda and gay causes. Jesus can love. Jesus does love, right? Jesus loves, right? We know this, okay? But at the end of the day, Jesus will be without fault. Understand the difference between loving you and being without fault. Some people are stupid. Some people are slow. However you want to put it. Understand the difference between loving people and being at fault. I would be at fault as a Christian to vote if that's not what Jesus would do. Because I am a follower of Jesus. I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ. So if I do something out of the character of what he would do like that, no one's perfect. But he's going to hold us accountable. He's going to hold me accountable, you, everybody accountable. That's why I'm about to do another video. You can't be sitting up voting, talking about you a Christian, knowing that Jesus Christ would not vote because that politician, being that it's 50 states of gay marriage, he's that politician who's going to be in office, whoever it's going to be, is going to support gay agenda indirectly or directly. That's the details. Why? That's the details. You cannot vote no more, buddy. That's how turned up the spiritual war is. You can't vote no more. It's that turned up. That's what I'm saying, bro. And that's what it is, whether you like it or not. And so that's what I'm concerned about. These real things that's going on. You know, and you know, so, but other than that, man, in somebody's business that I don't know, I don't care about what they doing. I don't care. Who cares? People got to check themselves, man. You know, you say you're grown. You know, everyone wants to think they're a man or woman. But what grown man or woman is in everybody else's business, bro? That's real. You can call it street stuff. You can call it whatever you want. I don't care. I don't care what you call it. At the end of the day, what grown man is in somebody else's business? That's real, though. That's real. What grown woman is worried about what somebody else is doing? You feel me? It doesn't make sense, man, to people with responsibility and they lane and living their life as grown adults. It don't make sense for them to be doing that and calling themselves adults. They don't have that luxury with me to call you ain't no adult to me. I don't care how much money you got. If you yapping about other people and talking about, listen, man, you do not act like a man or a woman doing that. If you're doing it for your survival, that's one thing. But if you out here just with a 3-piece sitting back talking and stuff, you know what I mean? Nah, bro. You listen. To me, you are not a man. Okay? You can call it whatever you want. I don't know what you are. But you're not a man sitting up yapping on other people. You can say what you want to say, but I don't know any masculine men that do that. One thing I do come from is masculine men. That's why I am the way I am. I don't come from no patsy men. And I have never met the father I have and the stepfather I have. I've never seen them sitting back just yapping. You know what I'm saying? As a masculine man, I just never seen them do that. Maybe y'all got dads to do that. But the masculine men I come from, it's just, I never seen them do it. You know what I mean? And so if you listen to me, I'm that same way. I'm that same pattern. I talk on stuff. I speak on stuff. But it's masculine. It's not like yapping like women. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand when people say, people talking like women. I understand that. Because how can you be, you know what I mean? And you come off as masculine. You don't have the luxury of being both, man. It's goofiness. This is the word of the day. Goofiness of this American community. You can't turn up on me. I can turn up on you. I can turn up on the whole community. As a prophet of God, this ain't the tree you want to bark up. This ain't, listen, I promise you when I'm finished, you won't be happy. That's one thing you won't be. You won't be happy and you won't be smiling. Listen, it's like playing with a preacher. Listen, you know that's trouble. That's trouble, bro. Hey, listen. I ain't no street punk. I am no street punk. Okay? You play with me, listen. It's playing with a preacher. That's what you're basically doing. And you know there's going to be repercussions. You know God is going to handle it. And that's what he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? So you can keep playing like it's a game, but look at your community. Look at your community. Yeah. White people got you out here doing crazy stuff, don't they? You just as crazy as they are now. And I ain't racist, but I'm Pacific, like I said. Hey, if it's you, it's you. White psychotic people suffer from psychosis. You talking about they them people got psychosis, man. Listen, man. Them people psychotic, bro. You call it whatever you want. It's mental sickness. That's how I see it. Ain't no soldiers and ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. We soldiers, they psychotic. To me, that's an L. You taking an L. You psychotic. You losing your mind. We don't lose our mind over here. And no matter what happened, we don't lose our mind. That's a no-no. We don't lose our mind over here, buddy. That's a negative. People out here psychotic. You can't be halfway crazy and then talking about you sound-minded. Okay? If you do crazy stuff, you crazy. You out here gang stalking, playing games, you crazy, bro. Man, ain't nothing. What? That's what it is. Ain't no way you can do crazy stuff, but then settle down at the end of the night and be sound-minded. You think other people do it all the time, but look at these soldiers that come back from war, mind toe up. Mind toe totally up. You know why they mind toe up? Because when you do crazy stuff, guess what? You're going to become crazy. That's what's going to happen. Your conscience going to beat you up, all kind of other stuff, and everything else. In fact, I don't want to hear about nobody being sound-minded in this country. You got 43 states of child marriage, and these people sound-minded. You telling me they in their right mind. So the politicians
past 43 states of child marriage are healthy-minded individuals. That's what you would have me to believe. When they've groomed the whole community to be child protectors. But in the middle of that 3 years ago, knowing this country is child protectors, in the middle of that, they still pass child marriage laws. You telling me that's sound-minded people that would create that kind of confusion and potentially an uprising against the government? Yeah, you groomed a whole bunch of child protectors, and then you pass child marriage laws. Who sound-minded would do that? Groom child protectors. Groom your country through the culture and do the movies and everything to be child protectors. Literally having movies like that, and then pass child marriage laws in the middle of that. Who does that, bro? That's what I'm telling you. But they sound-minded. It's even looking at it from a danger point of view. How are they sound-minded putting themselves in that kind of danger? Who would do that? You groom child protectors, but then you pass child marriage laws? Have you lost your mind? That's what I'm saying. Now you see what I'm saying. But yet you want to question my sanity. That's funny to me. It's real funny. It's real funny to me. Because you're a goofy. That's why. Okay? Like I said, God has killed children. Keep your children out the way of these real wars out here. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to isolate this cancer to our community. In this community, we're going to handle it. As the global community, we're going to handle it. Yeah, we can take it all the way up international. It don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not finna let people play games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and let Americans play with me like it's a game. We could take it up international. We can take it international, buddy. It's a small world, man. We can take it international. They know what's going on. Yeah, listen, we'll take it all the way up. We'll take it all the way up. You got child marriage here too. We'll shut down your 3-piece biscuit eating politicians. And listen, in a matter of 10 years, you won't be eating those 3 pieces again. Hey, you'll be done eating them 3 pieces. There'll be no more biscuits. No more biscuits and sweet tea. Take it up international. I ain't playing no games with you. Stop all that chicken and biscuit eating. Hey, don't be mad. Hey, it's the truth. They sit around doing, it's a culture thing. It ain't racist, it's culture. If you sitting around eating biscuits and chicken, talking out of turn, that's what you're doing. Hey, look, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Sitting around eating 3 pieces of chicken and biscuit, sitting up talking out of turn, talking about stuff you don't even know. That's the picture I'm painting. Sitting up yapping and talking and eating chicken, talking that you don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? It's a certain type of individual. You know the type. If you live long enough, you will. Everybody, listen, man. Ain't nobody scared of that. Listen, we'll take it up international, man. That's all I'm saying. Because ain't no way in the world I'm finna let some goofy people play with me and beat me. And you got child marriage here. You should listen, bro. Listen. Men like me we live like this to the end, bro. When you got this kind of liability, and you think we gonna back up off that? You got this kind of liability, and you don't think we gonna press this all the way to the end? Man, you tripping, bro. You tripping. And listen, you put yourself in that situation. You thought somebody was a sucker. Tell the truth and shame the devil. The real truth is you thought I was a sucker. That's what it was, man. Cause like, for what other reason is they on me like that then? Yeah, it ain't about nothing that's really going on. You thought I was a sucker to play with. Like we in high school. And then when I cut your snout off from barking up the wrong tree, you went back to your master, the master hunter, with your snout toe off. Toe your whole snout off. Row, 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 barking up the wrong tree, cut your whole snout off. Sound like Little Richard and Prince mixed together. Sound like Little Richard and Prince mixed together. And listen, you got what you deserve. Hey, ain't nobody playing no games. You listen, man. Listen. You barked up the wrong tree and you got what you deserve. That's what it is. That's the real story. You can be goofy like I'm talking about and be goofy about it and not accept what's real. You know what I mean? What's real is you play with the wrong people and you got what you deserve. You know, that's all it is. That's all it is. Now I'm sitting up here telling you the truth of the matter, which is God will kill your children too. God will kill your children. I can show you in the Bible. I can show you in the Bible where God has killed children. Talking all out of term, talking about stuff you don't know nothing about. You are not no historian. Half of y'all are no type of scholars. Ain't no type of scholar sitting up here talking about life. No, you need to be a student. That's where you're at. You're still a student. Okay? Let us real teachers do what we do. Because if you don't know what life consists of, if you don't know about these real issues out here, if you're not a person that can talk on one topic and break it down, then stop trying to act like you a scholar. Okay. Stop trying to act like you some historian and you don't even know you got child marriage in 43 states. But you're a historian. You're a historian. But with child marriage, you don't know nothing about. Okay, so how you know about history? If you don't know about history, how are you a historian? How are you a historian? You're acting like as if you're a historian. You're a philosopher. Oh, that's the other one. How you a philosopher, man? Huh? All of a sudden, you a philosopher. That's what I'm saying. Man, I'm checking everybody. Stop trying to be a historian, a philosopher, and whatever else you think you are. Because what you come out to be is dead wrong. No pun intended. Up here, dead wrong about everything. And stop that intuition stuff you're doing too. Yeah, stop that too. Because if you were so good at intuition, how come you still can't see me? How come you still can't see me now? If you were so good at intuition, why are you sitting here scratching your head now? Get out the game, man. If you can't play, get out the game. You know what I mean? You know, you're sitting around here playing around people with that little juju, that little witchcraft stuff, that little gift you got that your grandma told you were so special because you got it. You got a little gift. Yeah, she got that gift. You know how they talk. I'm right. Yeah, she got that gift. Well, how come you wrong then? Okay, then how come you didn't know nothing about 43 states of child marriage, but you're supposed to have a gift? Tell me how this adds up. You got all the gifts in the world, but you don't know your own surroundings. Make it make sense. You got child marriage everywhere, but you got a gift. Okay. Well, most people are going to look at me and say, hey, I don't know what they got, but I want whatever he got, that's what I want to be. Because he's telling us stuff we don't know for real. And they got what? Intuition? Hunches? Which one? Hunches or intuition? Which one you got? Meanwhile, you got child marriage stacked up in the country. Can't make this up, bro.